time started with 2 people out of our group in the middle of the ocean after they tried escaping 2 assassin infiltrator angels, Clarion and Maul. And they were happy because they thought they got away, but they didn't because the angels showed up again. And, well, Azirius got pretty much destroyed while the angels snatched his body and left. Marcus had to turn into his bat form and try flying back. And then the angels decided to teleport towards Cash and Trick, who were slouching around on the beach or something. I'm not sure if slouching is even a word, but it sounds fitting. And Cash also got destroyed, so that was a really bad start. Trick then went to Zacharias, informed him that the angels have taken and killed Cash, who then threw a fireball into the air, which was the agreed upon signal for basically people to meet up again. So Chiron teleported back to Zacharias, and eventually we figured out that apparently the assassin angels have killed half the party. We then decided to get some more confirmation on that by asking basically Asmodeus by using Trick to ask some yes or no questions. And as it turns out, Marcus is also gone somewhere, destroyed probably. So
his coffin was so.
Oh yeah, his coffin was also completely obliterated. So yeah, 3/5 of the party are currently God knows where, probably destroyed and dead. A random troll, I think it was, overheard us basically talking about how to get our companions back and offered some insight. He basically mentioned a sort of nature people in the Cabriar that apparently have the ability to make new bodies and resurrect things into them or something. So that's something we are probably going to hopefully check out. If it weren't for Tiadora, who came back not after a month, but after like 22 days.
Yeah.
And she is about to probably give us unpleasant orders or something. She basically, I'm not sure how much she said already. I just remember her going in here and basically surrounding us with all her sister devil things, probably to intimidate us, since last time she met us alone, she was pretty damn terrified of us, as she should be. So right now we are probably just waiting on the unpleasant...
On which to destroy first, like Theodora, just the whole room.
Yeah.
Sure. The troll who gave you some advice was called Snackrod.
Yep.
Oh yeah, Snackrod.
He's the strongest of the troll chiefs.
He who claimed to have eaten the Duke.
Yeah. And I think he also told us he was going to describe like a specific cave in detail, so we could try to teleport there and get to the Briar and find all this druidic nonsense that we need. But first, Devil Lady.
Yes. Theodora gives you her sly smile as she looks at you and says, "So, only 2 of you left then? How many perished looting an empty city?" She smiles. "You don't have to answer that. I guess that all the 3 others did. Clearly they were not very useful to the Knot as such. You seem to be doing just fine, dear."
Zacharias glares at her. "You will watch your mouth, creature. These members were valuable assets to us. Now they are destroyed. We plan to get them back, and I will have none of your sarcasms here."
Smiles at him, sort of gives him a coy smile. Says, "You really like playing with my emotions, don't you?" And she continues, "Well, you are, of course, my masters, and so I will oblige. Do you wish me to just leave and tell Thorne that you're not interested in anything he has to say? Any message he might bear to you?"
Zacharias looks at her and then motions. "Speak then."
And says, "If you beg like that, I sure will."
At this point, Kyron can probably see Zacharias, gripping at the edge of the chair, and basically he has the same expression on his face as when he fought the angels. Complete and utter murder and annihilation.
He looks
Kyron
clearly
will-
liking that way of him.
Karen will look to Tiadora and in a casual tone basically say, now may not be the best time for your usual shenanigans. We are in a bit of a situation and our reactions may be unpleasant if you continue like you are.
Oh, but this looks already so much more pleasant than home. Although maybe someday it will be.
What does Thorne want, Theodora?
He frowned, clearly not enjoying this get-to-the-point attitude. Very well, then. She waves her hands, and the sisters begin to sort of spread their wings and slightly hover up from the ground as she speaks. Very well, then. Greetings, Ninth Nut. The Cardinal addressed as Thorne, your master and mine, sends his greetings. He hopes that you have enjoyed your stay in beautiful Davrin, and that you have been quite the tourists. I hear you have been traveling around the whole city, and that the locals have been very friendly. And she do not answer her little quib.
No, it's just the murder and annihilation look still.
She
That's
looks at
basically
the
our
light,
answer.
hoping to clearly provoke some sort of answer from you. She then continues. Well, Thorne has some other messages. He begs me answer them as closely as I could. So forgive me if there are slight changes to the script. Victory over Talingard and the culmination of your vengeance draws near, and yet there is still one final errand that must be done. It is time for King Marcadian V, called the Brave, to die, and you are Thorne's chosen assassins. Stops a little for effect.
Zacharias, he just looks so tired right now.
Even now, the king moves towards Davrin at the head of an army, numbering quite a bit over 20,000 strong. He's surrounded day and night by the mightiest and most loyal knights, and attacking him in his camp would be folly. The king, however, has one weakness. She looks at you, clearly as a school teacher trying to coax an answer out of you.
Zacharias, sly smile. His daughter, the princess.
Yes, and he has not marched to war with his beloved daughter. Princess Belinda, heir and last scion of House Darius. She is watched over by a relatively small honor guard at the Adarium, the palace of House Darius, near the capital city of Matherin. Perhaps it would be within your purview to infiltrate and slay Belinda, but that is not our aim. The princess is merely a teenage girl and of little consequence by herself. Instead, it is your mission to endanger the princess. Everywhere the king of Talingard goes, he bears with him a magical pendant. If ever his daughter is endangered, the talisman signals her peril. With but a word, he can then return to the Adarium. He will teleport into his sanctum beneath the palace, eager to save his daughter. Your mission is first to proffer the greatest peril, and when it strikes the Adarium, you are to be in that sanctum awaiting the king's return. As he appears, destroy him. In one swift stroke you will decapitate the house of Darius. With his death and the death of Belinda, there will be no ruler of Talingard. The fire axe will defeat the army here in the ruins of Davrin, and then Talingard my lords, will be ours. But what peril could be so calamitous that the king's most trusted servants would call Macadian away from his campaign to save the kingdom? It can be no simple threat. No, it must be a threat of legend. Thorne has pondered this problem long and decided there's only one threat in all of Talengard worthy of such a stature. It is the Elder Worm, Chargammon the Black. You
Looks over to Chiron.
You must find a way to gain Chargammon's service and have him attack the Adarium to slay Belinda. Chargammon's sunken throne is easy enough to find if you know where it is. But it is a fool's errand to enter unbidden. Chargammon slays all who enter without his warrant, and he gives his warrant to no one. Still, Thorne has the utmost confidence that you will find a way. This is your mission. Gain the dragon's assistance, and then kill the king. There is one more trifling matter, really. After the king is slain and his palace lies in ruins, Thorne bids you find a book. Perhaps it'll be in the sanctum, or perhaps the king's personal chambers. It is the Liber Darien, a large bound volume containing the chronicles of House Darius. Fetch it, and then break this seal. She hands you a letter. And then your labors will be done, and you shall be rewarded for them. You must sense that this may well be your last mission for the Cardinal. Soon the armies of Talengard will be broken, and their leadership will be shattered. Thorne has always known that Talengard stands because of 4 pillars. The first pillar was the Watch Wall, keeping the north border secure. You burned it. The second one was the Order of St. Macarius. You extinguished that flame. This third pillar is the Knights of Ilarion. They will march to their doom against the Fire Axe, and now the final pillar will fall by your hand, the House of Darius. Of all Thorne's servants, no one has done more than you to see this triumph to its conclusion. And do not think that this will be forgotten when the rewards are given. You will be the princess of this realm. As the great game enters its last phase, soon Talengard will be ours. Sort of clears her throat as she finishes with the message.
Yeah, at the mention of Chargammon, basically Chiron's expression would be like a shocked stare, perhaps. Maybe a little more than that. And it seems very likely that he just stopped listening to the message halfway through, just thinking about what Tiadora and Thorne are basically asking.
So guys would glare at Theodora and say, we are currently heavily decimated. We are in no condition to challenge Chargammon or even approach him. We need to resurrect, bring back the other members of the Ninth Knot. We are currently following up some leads in that regard. We will need to complete that first before we approach Chargammon.
Shuraken says, as with every mission Thorne gives you, sooner is better than later. However, the mission must be done, and if done in a week, then so be it. However, do not take too long, or this could all fail. Thorne's patience is limited at this moment of triumph.
Zagreus grinds his teeth, and through the grinds he says, we will act with all due haste, Theodora. He looks around, glares at the devil sisters around her, and then looks back to her. As you pointed out, we have done much for Thorne. He looks around. I do not suppose Thorne has any insight to the current problem that are facing us. I am sure he is aware, yes? Sort of motions to the empty seats.
Miss Ruggs, I do not personally know what Thorne knows, my dear. But perhaps if you ask me nicely, I could give some aid. Sort of smiles.
Zacharias glares at her. Do you have any aid to give, Theodora? In that case, I might actually start to like you.
Well, you said that a troll guided you towards the Carebriar. That troll most likely does not like you very much, does he?
No.
Currently, it seems that many members of the Carebriar, many of the Irenaean, are actually waiting to join the king. His valiance and bravery has inspired them, and he's done much work with their diplomats. Perhaps another ancient folk of Talingard would have similar abilities, but be more inclined to aid you. All I know is the Carebriar would certainly be your doom.
Zacharias quirks an eyebrow. The ice folk in the north.
I have never been there, but they sure have been here as long as the Irenaean.
Zacharias looks over to Chiron, nods slowly. We do actually have some contacts up there.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have that. He was a chieftain, I think.
Did that help you, dearest?
Zacharias smiles, a smile full of just poison. Looks at her and says, "Yes, thank you, Tiadora. I will remember this."
I never have been able to stand for your charms, but particularly.
You are always such a tease, creature. Looks around. So the king marches on Devon, you say?
Yes, it seems the Fyrax will be doomed without your help. That, I suppose, is the true haste in your mission.
Might I ask what the other knots are doing? Surely we are not the only ones capable enough, yes? Although we have taken down, as you said, 3 pillars already. What on earth are the other doing? Nothing?
Yeah. Sort of frowns as she looks at you. Do not forget, other knots have been working on these problems before you. The situation we're currently in is because of them as much as you. The 7th destroyed the generals so that the watch wall attack would work. Another knot did locate the horn and attempted to infiltrate it before you did. They simply did not complete the last part of the plan. Another knot certainly has attempted to attack and defeat the king. They were simply slain as they did not have the Thorne's plan to follow. You have had aid all the steps of the way. This is Thorne's plan, not yours.
Zacharias looks annoyed at this.
You may feel powerful, and certainly you are one of the most trusted knots. But without, for example, the Fyrax, this would not be possible at all. This game has been played for a century, longer than you have even been alive.
Do we have any news of the Tears of Aklas?
She grins. Clearly this amuses her. Oh yes. Lots of pain and suffering. Although I must say it has not been as effective as we thought. It seems that much of the heartland has actually began, well, not really feeling it. Hopefully it will take on in time, but something suspicious is clearly going on. The area of Gastonhall as well seems to have survived with few casualties.
Zacharias seems thoughtful at this. Interesting. I thought we destroyed much of the healing capabilities. When we torched the veil.
Certainly many have perished, but not nearly as many as should, as per the plague. Perhaps Thorne has something to do with it. I do not know. It seems that as she sort of talks, clearly her own opinion, her eyes twitch a little. Clearly that she is doing so with some, something's trying to restrain her somewhat.
Interesting. Do you have any more information on Shargamon? Any
Shucks.
obvious
He is
approach?
ancient. He is deadly. And as to approach, I haven't a clue. Bribery certainly will not work, and intimidation would be complete folly. He is one that, well, nothing would really wish to stand against. His strength is legendary even amongst the oldest dragons.
Zacharias smiles, a half smile. Yes, I'm sure we will think of something.
Yes. Thorne certainly has confidence that you will find a way. As you did when you were told to infiltrate, destroy the Watch Wall, and when you were told to bring him the Tears of Aklis. You have proven that you work best when given liberties.
Good. Then I do hope the liberties given this time are quite generous indeed. He looks around, sighs, looks at the map, looks down at the map, troubled. We will see to that our compatriots join us as soon as possible, and then we will go after Shargamon.
Then I shall. Do you wish to know the location of his lair now or later?
The sooner we know it, the better.
Yes. Then I shall attempt to find the information for you on, well... There is something you must do then, if you wish me to tell you.
Quirks an eyebrow.
Sort of smiles wickedly at Zacharias as she blots her cheek.
Oh, yes.
Chiron will glance to Zacharias. If you don't want to do this, there may be other ways to find out where his lair is.
Zacharias,
Come on, dearest. Is it not such a little thing to ask for?
Zacharias looks over to Chiron. Looks over to Tiadora.
All I want is your dignity.
Oh, he laughs slowly to himself. I will have to think on this, Theodora. Such a generous offer and such a luscious cheek. Yeah, he looks at it. How about we reconvene here in a couple of days? And then you will have my answer.
Grins. I shall be here at the end of the month.
He writes himself, so be it then.
Besides, then I will have business with the Fire Axe as well.
Oh, I'm sure he will be delighted.
As he always seems to be.
Zacharias looks over to Chiron. We best be off then, Chiron. We have a lot of things to do.
Chiron nods, obviously still distracted, thinking about things. Mostly staring at the ground, his mouth like moving as if arguing with himself.
Theodora sort of begins to walk over here, walking sort of sideways, her swagger. She looks at Chiron and says, I'm sure, well, that this will be kind on you. And she then
Kind.
It's a word game, Chiron. Zacharias looks after her as she leaves and then turns to Chiron. I hate her so much.
I can see why.
He looks down at Chiron. We need Telemundus for this. If we are to approach Shargamon, I assume he should lead the charge.
Chiron definitely frowns even more at this suggestion. There may be problems. I suggest you talk to him tomorrow. He has used up his time for now, but he can probably tell you more about things. Let me just tell you that whatever Thorne is asking of us is as close to impossible as I would think anything is.
Oh, I don't think so, really. We do know a few things about the situation of Shargamon. Granted, I don't know him personally, but I do think we can perhaps help him and his brood with something. Remember the, was it brother of Telemundus is currently being held by someone called the Lord of Eagles and Storms or some such? He wears a hand. Perhaps
Yes.
freeing that kin to Shargamon will curry some favor.
Perhaps.
Bribery is of course impossible, since the dragon no doubt has a hoard the size of, well, this castle. And actually, I am not exactly sure what else we could offer him. Except our service, I suppose. A favor for a favor? Do you think Shargamon works in that way?
I don't think so. He has an army of dragons at his command. If he wants something, he can get it.
The guy seems to think, well, we should at least talk to him.
Yes. I suppose we have to. But yes, I think you should talk to my other me about this whole thing. Oh God, go away. I suppose I know everything he knows, but we have a sort of agreement that we tend to not talk about things that concern the other, so things don't get problematic, you understand?
Yes, well, we need to find some information about the possible creature, perhaps imprisoning your half brother or whatever it is. I'm not sure exactly who is who. He sort of looks at Chiron. He shrugs. Anywho, we need to head north then, to the Ice people, the Ice barbarians, and see if we can entreat with them to perhaps bring our rest of our compatriots back.
I suppose we need them.
If I remember correctly, the tribe we were in contact with during our journey north was the White Tusk. We even created an alliance of sorts with them. That should come in handy, I think.
Perhaps.
He looks about. I am ready to travel, although many spells are depleted for me. I can still take us north. He looks around, looks at Chiron. Would you be ready to travel? Would you wish to rest for a day?
Karen will kind of wave with his hand. There's no time to waste. Let's get going.
Very well then. I suppose we could bring some of our minions with us. Bolster the ranks, as it were. The guys will hover up from his chair and float over to the doors, which he will open with mage hand dramatically as he sort of hovers out. Looks about for the lieutenants of the organizations.
Horse will run in through the door. Be happy.
Trick is probably sitting by the door.
Zacharias glares at him. Trick, get inside.
The Righteous telling everyone a story outside.
Has Grumbliak brought the chest already, Manikai, or has the...
Oh yeah, he has it with him currently.
Oh, excellent. Zacharias looks at the chest.
He also has a rather large, awesome sword.
Zacharias looks at the chest. What is that?
Jake?
Oh, right. Forgot he's not an NPC anymore. That is, this is Azorius' equipment.
Zacharias, both eyebrows actually raise a bit. Really, Grumblejack?
I think Wait, did he open it yet? Because he didn't open it like on the
He opened
in
it.
yesterday.
You know,
Okay,
but-
yeah. Okay, so he knows. um. Yeah, we found some minions to find the rest of the booze, and they found this also.
Zacharias blinks at the Grumbleyak at this incredible honesty that the ogre is apparently displaying, and says, "I see. These minions should be rewarded then. Good work is hard to find after all." Looks at Grumblejack. I don't suppose the minions are here.
Not anymore.
He shrugs. They're a loss anyway. He looks at the chest. Bring it here. Sort of pointing before him.
You'll kind of put it down.
Zacharias will use mage hand to open the chest.
Yeah, inside there's sort of piles of stuff. Clearly, it is Azurius' equipment, in addition to some extra, like, what seems to be just sort of guard swords. And
Sure. Zacharias will throw away the guard swords since they're obviously not magical. And look at the serious equipment, going through it and mumble to himself. Yes, it seems that everything is here. Excellent indeed.
How
There's
convenient.
a broken bottle of elixir of truth, possibly.
Bah. Zacharias looks at this. We are heading north, and you are to accompany us. As bodyguards, of course. Yeah, he looks upon you. These are Lord Asurius' relics. We will, in our mission to bring him back, utilize them to their fullest extent. He looks over at Trick. You, Trick, will have the honor of carrying the relics of Lord Asurius. Do not lose them.
He nods quite quickly.
He motions towards the most items. Now then, suit up. We are leaving.
I'll just get my barrel then.
Auto villains, roll out.
Raju looks really weird at Grumblejack.
What? Oh, Grumblejack didn't say that.
Kyron will turn to Zacharias and whisper, "Do they seem different somehow?"
Yes, they do.
What? This is just how I swing now.
But I thought-
Zacharias looks after Rigel, just frowning and then is shaking his head slowly.
Take a barrel. I better get his character sheet.
Zacharias, we do have Kasha's gear here, right?
yes,
We do have Kash's gear somewhere.
Yes, well.
You better protect that.
Zacharias will. This room is still protected by Major Sanctum, so no one can scry in here, which is good. Zacharias will go over to where the where the gear is, and he will summon his secret chest and open it up. Careful, so that none of the others can look inside the secret chest. And then he will quickly move Kash's items into his secret chest, close and lock it, and then send it away again.
sure.
Move back. There we go. This way we are carrying it with us.
Trick's probably putting on the sparkling cloak of resistance.
Did Chiron have teleport?
No.
He has Dimension Door.
Yes.
And the range of Dimension Door is what exactly?
400
It's...
weight level.
Need to be
Yeah,
able
like
to
Just
see.
long range.
That's not long range enough at all. Well, Horus is not coming along.
What?
Unless he can plane shift after us.
Plane shift is the most inaccurate spell in the universe.
Yeah.
He might appear somewhere out in the sea. Yeah.
Horus, he will have to stay here.
It's about 300 miles from here to the lands of
Yep.
the Utah.
No
Oh,
more
technically he could plane shift there, but it's very slim.
normal teleportation. This is no problem at all. I can easily get there. The problem is I don't really have that many teleportation spells memorized. And since they are large, I can't really bring everyone with me.
Well, you can, of
Well,
course.
Raiju can become medium.
That is true. That will help a
I've
lot.
not either seen the place either. I should have been there.
We have.
We've talked to someone about it. I'm sure we have a decent-ish description.
Let's see. Let's take a look at the map here.
Closest you've have been up here.
Yeah, we sailed through here. That was where we found like the ice imp or whatever it was.
That was in here of this sea.
Oh, well, here. Okay. Where did we meet the White Tusk tribe?
You met them around Seal Isle, where they were
Okay.
sailing south to trade.
Right. Did you talk? Oh, that's island up there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
The unknown, that sometimes you will sit as a sort of by a fire in a forest or something, and one of them, when you're up in the north, might just come over to you and like sit down and not really say anything. You wouldn't understand each other's languages, but if you offer him some food and such, when you wake in the morning, he'll be gone and he'll have left some money or something.
okay.
Cool.
Like a story thing that if you see one, you should be nice to them and polite, and they will help you or give you something to help you survive. Or, one guy was given this special bone dagger, for example, and then later that day, he was attacked by a bear and didn't have his weapon, and so that dagger saved his life.
Sure.
Such things.
Is the lands of the Utah like forbidden lands? Is it like?
No, they're just really freezing cold, and there's really nothing there.
Well, freezing cold is not really a problem, Endure elements should take care of most of that.